Two friends were moving quietly through the woods when something stopped them cold, a face pushing out from the side of a tree. This wasn't random bark. It had defined eyes, a nose, and a mouth frozen wide open, all formed as if by nature, not by human hands. Their uneasy laughs faded quickly as the real question settled in: natural formation, or something far more unsettling hiding in plain sight. A lone traveler wandering off trail in the woods ends up finding something deeply unsettling. Hidden among the trees is a crude hut built from branches and leaves, surrounded by eerie objects, bird bones, stones, wilted flowers, skulls, and rough wooden crosses. As he records the scene, he spots a figure, a woman in a dress bolting toward the trees to hide. The moment feels ripped from a horror film, triggering theories of witchcraft, ritual activity, and even whispers that Bigfoot might also be involved, though others argue it could simply be a secluded spot used by a family avoiding attention. While filming the calm mountain landscape, a man unexpectedly captured something strange. A figure resembling Bigfoot moving across an open field behind a rocky outcrop. The man who posted the footage online claimed it was his encounter with the legendary creature. But on closer review, the figure looks far too human. Its build, movements, and visible muscle definition suggest it may be someone in a costume rather than an actual Bigfoot. Skinwalkers are said to be among the most elusive creatures, capable of shifting into any animal. The only reliable way to recognize one is through the unnatural behavior that always leaks through the disguise.
Somebody! Help! Help! Somebody! Help! 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 Help!
At sundown, a farm owner recorded a silhouette moving across his property, a human-shaped figure with a strange, waddling gait, drifting aimlessly while producing eerie, uneven cries for help. Its calm tone felt wrong, almost rehearsed. Some compared its outline to a Sasquatch, though the behavior was entirely different. Skinwalkers, according to legend, cannot speak naturally, cannot walk convincingly, and can only mimic the actions or voices of their previous victim. If the person they copied was shouting, that is all they can do. While filming from her home in the woods, a resident notices a humanoid shape peeking out from behind a tree. She manages to capture a brief glimpse of its head on camera. The features are unclear, yet appear human. Terrified, she sends her husband and their dog to investigate, but by the time they reach the spot, the figure is gone. Convinced something was there, she finds the encounter especially unsettling. On New Year's Day 2020, a woman hiking a remote trail in Northern California captured an unsettling photo. The image shows a figure estimated between 7 and 8 feet tall, with a coned head and broad shoulders. Some believe it could be a dogman or Bigfoot, while skeptics insist it might be a bear. But the strange outline doesn't fit a bear's usual narrow shoulders and rounded head. Even though the photo is blurry, it has stirred intense debate over whether it might be genuine evidence of a mysterious cryptid. One day, while walking his property with his dog, the animal suddenly began barking wildly, tense and on edge. That's when he noticed it, a Sasquatch-like figure peering out from behind the bushes. The photo he snapped looked blurry at first, but once zoomed in, a face appeared. Brown fur, defined eyes, a nose, and a mouth. The lingering question remained, was it nothing more than a camera illusion, or had he actually managed to capture Bigfoot? A lone hiker had ventured deep into the wilderness, enjoying the stillness and losing track of time. After hours on the trail, he entered a dense stretch of pine forest and heard heavy movement, something large pushing through the brush. Assuming it was a big animal, he raised his phone to record, but what appeared on camera was far more unsettling. It wasn't any normal animal. What do you think? At night, a Facebook user ventured into a wooded cemetery for a late-night ghost hunt. While snapping random photos, one image revealed something strange. a figure sitting on a bench within a family plot. Some later claimed the shape resembled a crouching Bigfoot. Nothing unusual was seen then, leaving the photograph as the only unsettling piece of evidence. A man walking through Ohio's woodlands heard a strange sound that didn't match any known animal, nothing like dogs, wolves, or bears. It was an eerie blend, part howl with tones that faintly echoed a hyena, yet clearly something unfamiliar. The region is well known for Bigfoot encounters, and many locals believe the noise came from a Sasquatch. Still, the reason behind such a loud howl at that moment is unknown. Was it hurt, or was it some kind of mating call? The true source of the sound remains an unsolved mystery. These hikers were making their way along the Devil's Backbone, a narrow, rocky ridge known for eerie legends and unexplained sightings. As they moved forward, ringing a bell along the trail, something strange happened. For a split second, a shadow-like figure appeared behind them before vanishing. The moment startled them, but on closer inspection, it turned out to be nothing more than a branch, creating a perfect illusion. Harley was walking through the woods when a series of strange sounds broke the quiet. That's when he noticed a creature on a cliff.
And up on the cliff, peeking out of the brush from behind a tree, there it was. When I would look, it would hide. Luckily, I got a picture. I don't know how to explain it, but the phone I had then...
Peeking through the brush from behind a tree. Every time he looked up, it slipped back out of view. He managed to snap a photo, though the old phone he carried didn't capture much detail. At first, Harley assumed it had to be a bear. The color seemed close enough. But its behavior and movements didn't resemble any bear he'd grown up around in Tennessee. Whatever this was felt smarter, more alert, and far more curious, something closer to the Sasquatch reports he'd heard about for years. Later that night, around 9:30 p.m., unfamiliar calls echoed from the woods. Harley recorded them, sounds nothing like the bears he knew. Adding to the unease, the creature carried a strong stench of rotten eggs. The encounter stayed with Harley long after, and he remained certain. This wasn't any animal he'd ever seen, maybe not even one meant to be found. On June 16, 2024, a strange photo began circulating on Facebook. It showed a tall, fur-covered figure, but something felt wrong. Its arms hung unnaturally low, and its thin, upright frame looked nothing like classic Bigfoot sightings, whether Patterson's or those reported in Ohio. Nothing about it matched anything seen before, leaving many to question if this was Bigfoot or something entirely different. A man driving down the highway noticed something unusual on a distant hill, a tall figure moving in a way that didn't look entirely human or animal. Unsure what he was seeing, he snapped a photo and posted it on Reddit for help identifying it. Many commenters suggested it might be Bigfoot. The lingering question remains, if not Bigfoot, then what exactly was it? A recently shared photo, reportedly taken in Texas, has gained attention for its unusually clear depiction of a potential Bigfoot. The creature shows a Neanderthal-like face framed with thick black hair, yet its eyes, nose, and mouth are sharply defined, giving it an unnervingly lifelike appearance. Its body is coated in dark hair, matching classic Bigfoot descriptions. What makes the image even more unsettling is the creature's direct stare into the camera, an expression hinting at intelligence, and the awareness often credited for its ability to stay hidden. It leaves one troubling question. How does something that large avoid being seen? Is it intelligence, natural camouflage, or both? While sitting in his elk blind, a hunter heard movement in the bushes and first assumed it was another hunter. As he moved closer, he spotted a massive, hairy creature and decided to record it. The figure appeared completely unfazed by him, its entire body covered in dark fur, something eerily reminiscent of Bigfoot. Someone on Reddit shared a disturbing story from their friend's home in the Appalachian Mountains. A guest had been staying there when, for 3 nights in a row at exactly 3:00 a.m., 3 knocks sounded at the door. Each time, the dogs went wild. Then everything dropped into complete silence until the next night. They couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. Later, the friend took a photo outside the house, and even after brightening the image, a shadowy figure was still there, its outline faintly reminiscent of a Sasquatch. This footage, filmed in Czechoslovakia in 2015, shows a man hiking alone through the woods. The farther he went, the more unsettling the forest became, until a strange cry echoed around him. It wasn't a howl, a bark, or a growl. Something in between, yet nothing familiar. From the sound alone, he could tell it belonged to something large. Instead of turning back, he followed the disturbance and soon found snapped branches and huge, deep footprints shaped like oversized human feet, evidence of something incredibly heavy. When the noise began closing in, he finally decided to leave. Once the footage was posted online, theories exploded. Some claimed dogmen, others Bigfoot, even a human-eating troll, while skeptics insisted it might be wind, though that explanation failed to account for the tracks. In the end, he was lucky to walk out before crossing paths with whatever created those sounds. A Reddit user shared an unsettling photo of their dog taken on a fog-covered mountain in Scotland. When they reviewed the image later, something disturbing appeared in the background, an unusually large figure standing behind the dog. The photo sparked immediate speculation that it could be a Sasquatch, though skeptics argued a creature like that wouldn't reveal itself so openly without stronger evidence. Whatever the explanation, the figure's identity remains a mystery. A traveler driving deep into the mountains of Whitefish, Montana, near his uncle's remote property, was scanning the area for wildlife like deer or bears. He stopped when he spotted what seemed to be a moose or elk tucked behind thick brush. But when it turned to look at him, the feeling shifted instantly. With local legends of the Wendigo and even Bigfoot on his mind, he couldn't shake the sense that something far stranger was out there. What he actually saw remains a mystery. A hiker shared a series of photos on Facebook taken from a hilltop in Utah, capturing a thick forest below and a large figure moving quickly along a trail. According to the hiker, the figure was roughly 325 yards away, moved without making a sound, and this was the clearest image he managed to get. Many believe it could be Bigfoot due to its impressive height and odd way of moving, while others argue it might be a bear or even a gorilla, though those animals aren't common there. Its speed, silence, and the isolated setting leave the figure's identity unknown. This sighting comes from a Reddit post uploaded around 145 days ago. At first glance, the footage seems harmless, just a simple clip recorded after a camping trip with her boyfriend, showing their quiet campsite and the stillness of the woods around them. The original video was 6 minutes long, but the user later trimmed it to a short 28-second segment. And it's in that tiny fragment where things take a disturbing turn. When slowed down, a dark, fast-moving shape crosses the frame from right to left. So quick that most viewers miss it entirely on the first watch. But once you notice it, it becomes impossible to ignore. It doesn't match any lighting artifact, and it moves in a way no animal in the area would. So what exactly did the camera record that day? A glitch? A stray shadow? Or something much stranger hiding in the tree line? Someone shared a picture online, saying they might have seen Bigfoot during a camping trip. At first, they assumed the distant figure was a bear, but its movement didn't resemble one. It was too far to identify properly, so they snapped a photo to examine later. When zooming in, the shape appeared more like an ape, even though no apes live in that region. Its identity remained uncertain, but Bigfoot was the immediate possibility that came to mind. a Reddit user uploaded an image taken by his uncle's trail camera in southern Louisiana, showing a shape resembling Bigfoot concealed in tall grass. The uncle, a longtime Bigfoot believer who refers to it as a swamp squatch, said it was the first time he had ever recorded anything unusual. Although skeptics question the photo's legitimacy, the poster insists his uncle is being honest. At Peck Cemetery in Illinois, a place known for its eerie history, only 2 people were there when a photo revealed a large, dark figure. Neither claimed to be the one in the shot. Some say it resembles a Sasquatch with a wide chest, long arms, and a fur-covered body. But if it were real, shouldn't they have noticed it? Could the figure have been something ghostly instead? One cold winter night in Albany, Kentucky, a man stepped outside to feed his dog and noticed strange footprints near his house. The tracks looked human, but were far larger, suggesting something with considerable size and weight. Some skeptics argued it might have been a prank using oversized novelty shoes, while others thought the prints could belong to a truly massive or possibly dangerous animal such as a bear. The real origin of the tracks remains unknown. In this clip, filmed in a secluded, fog-covered area that gives the landscape a dramatic look, a tall, solidly built white figure suddenly comes into view, instantly drawing attention. Viewers have offered many theories. Some think it might be an albino Sasquatch, while others propose a camouflaged Bigfoot. But when watching it carefully, the shape doesn't really line up with those ideas. It seems more like a person wearing a costume, possibly hoping to be noticed. What do you think? While sorting through his late grandfather's belongings, a man found a photograph that completely shocked him. It showed 2 tall, shaggy figures walking hand in hand through a snowy forest, looking almost like a Bigfoot mother and child. In the background, 2 additional dark shapes stood among the trees. The image had no date, no location, and his grandfather had never mentioned it. Was it actual evidence of Bigfoot, or simply people wrapped in heavy winter clothing? Alicia sent a photo to the Rocky Mountain Bigfoot organization that her friend's daughter had taken in central Minnesota. While trying to photograph deer, the girl unintentionally captured something unusual in the frame. It wasn't until 3 days later that they noticed a strange figure appearing to watch one of the deer. Since then, their German Shepherd has been unusually nervous, which they think might be related to the sighting. Alicia, who has lived in the area her entire life, noted Minnesota's long history of Bigfoot encounters. Could this be genuine evidence, or is there another explanation? Late one night, a woman reviewing her trail camera footage noticed something unusual, a dark shape standing perfectly still, appearing as if it were draped in a long black cloak. The image quickly spread across Facebook, sparking plenty of reactions. Most people concluded it was likely just a tree creating a visual illusion, though a few still question whether something else might have been captured. While walking along a forest path, a hiker stopped to photograph some unusual-looking plants. Everything appeared completely ordinary at the time. But later, as he went through the images, he noticed something unsettling. A small figure that looked like a child standing alone on a bridge. Although he was open to paranormal possibilities, he tried to find a reasonable explanation. Still, something wasn't right. The red and blue tones in the figure didn't match anything he recalled seeing there. Nothing in that area should have produced those colors, at least nothing visible to him. While hiking along the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina, a woman paused to take a picture of the morning fog and sunrise. Everything looked completely ordinary at the moment. But later, when she reviewed the photo, she spotted something unsettling, a faint figure standing on the path through the mist. She insists no one was ahead of her, and the trail had been completely silent. So what exactly was out there that morning? A thermal camera set up in the woods recorded a creature resembling Bigfoot hiding behind a tree. The figure appears to be around 7 to 8 feet tall, covered in dark fur, yet moving with a posture and mannerisms that seem strangely human. Its identity and location remain unknown, leaving the sighting unresolved. Although skeptics question the claim, the footage continues to draw attention and fuel debate over whether it's genuine or just an elaborate hoax. Lomar, a solo paranormal investigator from Paranormal Discovery, went out with his dog Kia to check on recent Bigfoot sightings near the abandoned Uniacque gold mine.
Feel really weird though. Like really weird. It's like something's watching already. Something weird.
As soon as he entered the area, he experienced an immediate sense of discomfort, as if something unseen was already observing him. The atmosphere felt strange.
What is that? Yo, that's a car seat. Yo, there's a bunch of car parts. Coaches over there. Man, all of the parts are just...
Moving through the dense forest, the uneasy feeling continued to grow. He soon noticed discarded items, car seats, scattered vehicle parts, and old furniture lying around in odd conditions.
All right, so we got our first clue. That could be natural, but you never know in this world. Why are these all in such weird conditions? Just a bunch of weirdness. Like even back there, some of the trees are chewed up. Yo, look at the destruction here. Whoa. Again, if you guys have seen our Bigfoot series, man, in between trees, it's so odd how it does that. It's weird how, like the majority like this, jammed in between two trees, ripped completely out of the ground. Look at that.
The deeper he went, the more bizarre everything appeared. He pointed out what he believed might be his first clue, noting that while it could have a natural explanation, it didn't feel entirely normal. Some of the trees looked chewed up, broken apart, or wedged unnaturally between others, with several ripped clean out of the ground. The destruction reminded him of scenes from earlier Bigfoot investigations.
I think this is where we're gonna set up camp for the night. We're not gonna stay the full night, but maybe make a bonfire. It's weird, I'm hearing like off-roading vehicles, ATVs, I think, but no one's coming up. It's kind of weird.
Eventually, he reached a clearing and chose it as a temporary resting place, planning to set up a small campfire even though he didn't intend to stay all night. While there, he heard a faint noise in the distance that resembled off-road vehicles, even though no one seemed to be nearby.
Please be careful here.
Please be careful here. Okay. I don't know what this feeling is. It's crazy. Like it just got intense. Like either an animal's with us, like a bear or a coyote, or it's a Sasquatch. Like straight up, like I'm not joking, like my emotions are starting to run high. I'm starting to feel like something here is getting hostile. Kid's been sitting down, looking into random parts of the forest. Trippy, to be honest. I'm starting to think that this is not an area that happened at. I just have it in my gut. Something here occasionally comes, and this is its habitat. I don't know, it could be a bear for all I know, but something does come here. It's giving me that.
After lighting the fire, he turned on his spirit box, and a disturbing voice came through the static, increasing his sense of urgency. His fear escalated as the atmosphere suddenly intensified. He sensed that either a large animal, possibly a bear or coyote or something like a Sasquatch, might be close. The tension made him believe the area wasn't naturally formed, and that something might use it as its territory. He felt in his gut that whatever came through occasionally might still be around.
I keep hearing something in here. Now keep in mind, I don't think I'm gonna film the whole way out, but I might keep it recording just so it can document anything that could possibly happen. Hello? What the? Yo, it's creepy as hell, man. Someone over here? Or something? I don't want to leave Key for too long. But something's here. Something is legitimately in front of me. I just can't see it, but I can hear it.
As he made his way back out, more odd signs appeared, reinforcing his belief that something or someone was watching him. He continued to hear noises from the woods and kept his camera running in case anything occurred.
There's a weird set of eyes. Yeah. Hello? See that? It's glowing. I'm zoomed in the max that it can go. It's straight up glowing.
Passing old, rusted car wreckage deep in the forest, he caught sight of something unusual. A pair of glowing eyes reflecting from the dark. He zoomed in as far as his camera allowed and saw the shine clearly. Fortunately, both he and Kia managed to return to their vehicle without incident. Luke is an outdoor adventurer whose YouTube channel focuses on reviewing camping gear and demonstrating that equipment during his trips into the wilderness. His videos are usually cinematic and peaceful, but this particular outing took on a different tone. He traveled deep into a remote forest, far from any signs of civilization, seeking a more demanding backcountry experience.
This is the third week straight of solid rain. There's water literally dripping from everything at the moment. What I need to do first is figure out exactly where I'm going to stay tonight. I have a tarp set up for this trip. I'm thinking this tree to this tree, with the tarp going this way. The ground here is somewhat level, more so than anything else. It's not perfect, but it will certainly do. This area here is a perfect example of real-world off-trail camping. This is what it's like. Nothing's flat, nothing's even. There's roots and rocks all over the place. This is what you will have to contend with if you want to do what I do. Off-trail, out in the middle of nowhere, what you need to get accustomed to is being satisfied with imperfect conditions. You may not have the best campsite out there, but take a look around. While certain areas suffer, other areas shine. And that is certainly true with this area.
After weeks of continuous rain, moisture hung on every surface, dripping from branches and soaking the ground. His first task was choosing a place to stay for the night. He planned to use a tarp and considered securing it between two trees, where the ground, although uneven, was workable enough. The location was a true example of off-trail camping. No flat ground, exposed rocks, and tree roots everywhere. Anyone wanting to camp far away from others had to accept less than ideal conditions. Some areas might be rough, but others offered benefits, and this campsite reflected that mix well.
Good times. They are a pain to get going though. I've had to light these, relight, light again. But now they're finally taking off. I could have swore I heard something walking through the woods. Something big enough to break branches and whatnot. There are black bear up here, but that would be highly irregular for them to come this close to camp. I definitely heard something though. I just don't know what.
Once he selected a spot, he set up his shelter and cooked a meal. When the sun disappeared behind the trees, his small tarp shelter became the only point of light for miles, a faint glow in the vast darkness of the forest. After eating, he built a small fire, though the damp wood made it difficult to keep the flames alive. It took several attempts before the fire finally caught. As he tended to it, he noticed a sound coming from the woods, heavy, deliberate steps that seemed too large to be from smaller animals. The noise was strong enough to break branches as something moved through the forest. Black bears lived in the region, but it was unusual for them to come this close to a campsite. He couldn't identify the source and briefly wondered if something like Bigfoot could be responsible, though he had no evidence. The uncertainty bothered him, but there was nothing else he could do. He tried focusing on the night ahead, though the sounds continued sporadically, always distant but impossible to ignore. Eventually, he went to sleep, staying half alert in case the noise returned. Morning arrived without incident, yet he remained puzzled about what had been close to his camp. Whether it was a deer, a bear, or even something resembling a Sasquatch, he couldn't determine. At the same time, Ian, the creator of Midwest Ghost Hunter, ventured into the eerie woods of Appalachia to film a ghost hunting episode.
Storm has passed. It should be a clear night from here on out. I can definitely feel the electricity in the air right now. And here we are. Right when you walk in, there's the first mound. Man, walking through these woods, I feel like anything could just pop out at me right now. Like from anywhere. Bears, Bigfoot, ghosts, anything. Okay. I don't know if I'm going crazy. I thought I heard something behind me. Hello? Who's over there? I don't know, maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know, I thought I heard something.
After a storm passed, the night cleared, leaving the forest silent, but charged with tension. As he walked into the woods, he felt exposed, as if anything from wildlife to something unexplained could appear at any moment. Moving among the dark trees, he sensed something behind him. When he checked, nothing was visible, yet the feeling of being observed persisted. As the weather stabilized, he continued deeper into the forest with his camera recording.
All right. Okay, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not going crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I should try this, but I'm gonna try walking backwards because I want to see what's coming up behind me. Honestly, I don't even like walking backwards because I don't know what's ahead of me. Is there somebody out here with me? Oh my God! That scared me so bad. That was a straight up voice from thin air. It was as if somebody was standing like right there. My name is Ian. Could you tell me your name? Are you standing in this exact spot right here? Could you say something? You might not even understand me, that's the thing. I'm getting really chilled over here. I'm gonna walk up a little closer. I'm coming towards you. I mean you no harm. Oh my God! Oh my God, something just grabbed my shoulder. Holy moly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to react that way. You just scared. I really don't know what kind of grab that was. I don't know if that was like a hey kind of grab or hey, like.
At one point, he attempted to walk backward to keep an eye on whatever might be behind him, though doing so made him uneasy since he couldn't see what lay ahead. Soon after, he heard a voice nearby, even though no one else was present in the area. The sound startled him, and he froze, trying to understand whether it had been real or imagined. He attempted to communicate with the unseen presence, introducing himself and asking if something was standing near him. The air grew colder as he moved cautiously forward. Suddenly, he felt something grab his shoulder. The touch shocked him so much that he reacted instinctively before he collected himself. He couldn't determine whether the gesture was meant as a warning or something else, but the physical sensation was undeniable.
Here's mound number 2. I'm actually not going to say anything this time. I'm actually just going to listen. Kinds of things over here. It sounds like voices, but they're so Oh my God! Dude, that was a face! I just seen a face! That was a glowing face!
He kept moving through the woods, hearing footsteps and faint voices even though he knew he was alone. When he reached another mound deeper within the forest, he remained silent and listened carefully. He picked up more indistinct sounds, tones that resembled voices but were too soft to understand. As he continued forward, he saw something that overwhelmed him, a glowing face emerging from the darkness. The brief sighting was enough to convince him to leave the forest immediately. Although unsure what he had encountered, the combination of voices, footsteps, and physical contact left him shaken. He couldn't rule out whether it had been paranormal activity or something connected to Bigfoot. Both men had distinct objectives, one testing camping gear, the other searching for supernatural evidence, but each encountered moments in the wilderness that felt unnatural. Luke heard heavy footsteps around his campsite, sounds too large and deliberate to match typical wildlife. Ian experienced escalating events involving voices, footsteps, and a physical interaction that defied explanation. Each of them left with unanswered questions about what truly inhabits remote stretches of land rarely visited by people. Whether wildlife, spirits, or something resembling Bigfoot, both were reminded that the wilderness often holds more mysteries than anyone expects. A harvester recently captured what they claim is undeniable evidence of Bigfoot on camera. The footage shows a massive human-shaped figure dropping from a tree at the forest's edge. It bolts left, sharply pivots right, and vanishes back into the timberline. What makes this even stranger is that the encounter happened far outside typical Bigfoot territory, raising unsettling questions about why it surfaced in the open. A man in Maine was flying his drone over a secluded lake while scouting for a fishing spot when he recorded something he didn't expect. Later, as he reviewed the footage, he spotted a tall, dark figure moving upright near the tree line. Stunned, he went back the next morning to investigate, but there were no tracks and no trace of anything. The clip spread fast, online believers calling it potential Bigfoot evidence, skeptics insisting it was just someone in a costume. Whether an authentic encounter or a planned hoax, the footage captured plenty of attention. In early 2024, a drone on a border patrol run over Big Bend National Park, Texas, captured something unsettling on its thermal camera. From above, the image revealed a figure covered in bright, bushy fur, with a defined head and limbs. Experts who examined the frame had no explanation. The region is remote, with no trails or human presence, and tied to legends of a white Sasquatch or Yeti, making the encounter even more mysterious, and to some, potential evidence of Bigfoot. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.